So, if you guys know me, you know I've had this channel for a little over a year at this point, and I've had some pretty good success with this channel. I want to thank you guys that always tune in and come in and comment and stuff like that. But I've had it for a little over a year. I'm currently monetized. I do pretty good, get pretty good amount of views on my channel. And I just want to talk about something a little different today because I've noticed from time to time when I'm talking about the BS with Jordan Brand or just talking about sneakers in general, I'll see people come in my comments and they'll say things like, you know what, that's why I wear reps, or that's why I just go straight to U.A.s. So today I want to kind of explore that a little bit. I want to ask or really get into, is it okay? Are reps or U.A.s okay? And I think the answer is yes, and the answer is no. It's a little more complicated than that. So let me go ahead and do what I always do. About this time, I'm going to run you the dopest intro you ever seen in your life. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about whether it's okay to have, buy, or sell reps.
OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, the other sneaker YouTubers, the hell are boring. OG Trap Jordan, OG Trap Jordan, I got sneakers rated and pouring.
What up, YouTube? OG Trap Jordan back with another one. And today I want to get into this subject of U.A.s and reps. But before I do that, I'm going to give you guys a quick disclaimer. Me, personally, I have never in my life that I know of ever bought a pair of reps, at least not intentionally. Now, there was a time in my life when I was buying slightly used shoes off of like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. And there was a time or two when I got and then I realized it, and it's possible that I might still have a pair or two in my collection that could possibly be reps. And I only think that because I bought them basically off the aftermarket and have never legit checked them. But there's nothing in my collection that really obviously gives away any indicator that they're reps. But usually in the last few years of my life, if I don't get them from the store or whatever, I don't get them because I don't like walking around with the unknown in my head wondering if I'm wearing reps or not. But now I really want to get into the fact that I just want to get into it. I want to talk about it and talk about, is it okay? Because I see a lot of things online. I see a lot of people talking about it in my comments. And I seen a video not too long ago where these kids were making fun of this kid, and these kids were all sitting around him in school, and they were like in the gym, and they had like dusty Crocs on, and they were poor kids. And you know what, I was a poor kid too, and I didn't have them, but they were making fun of this kid and saying he was wearing fakes. And I was looking at his shoes and I was looking in the comments, and some people were saying they were fakes and some people were saying they weren't. And I thought it was pretty dirty, in my opinion. I felt bad for the kid, whether they were real or not, because it's like, I know you guys know, if you watch my channel, you know little Teddy Turnup, I make sure his feet are fresh. I always buy him like the latest J's when they come out. And when he goes to school, kids always accuse him of having U.A.s on his feet, and he's never had U.A.s. He's always had the real thing. That's just the way kids are. And it's funny because when I was growing up, I got made fun of for not having J's and not having Nikes and not having all the exclusive, the new stuff that everybody was wearing. And nowadays it seems like the roles have kind of reversed. Sometimes if you have them, kids will make fun of you when they don't have them. It's really weird. I don't know how we've come to this in the culture, but it's really a part of the culture that I can't stand. It's really messed up that sometimes Teddy doesn't even want to wear his shoes to school that are really nice, that I pay a lot of money and work hard for. And it's just a crazy part of the game. So that's why I want to get into this, because it seems like a lot of people have actually turned to U.A.s because they don't care. You could be wearing a certain type of shoe, and I will say that too, if you're out there buying reps, and I'll get into whether or not I think that's okay. I do think it's okay to buy reps, but let me get into this. If you're buying certain reps, you just have to know that people are going to know, especially if you're going out and you're buying like some Dior's or just some crazy collab or something, and you work at McDonald's or you're from a poor family, like, and there's nothing wrong with it if you like that. But I just want you guys to know that you're gonna get called out on it. Now, I want to get into, before I get into whether it's okay to wear them, whether it's okay to sell them, whether it's okay to have them, I want to talk about the rumor or the theory that goes around where people are talking about all the time how it doesn't matter because U.A.s are made in the same factory as the real shoes. And I want to kind of get into my opinion on that. And I know that not too long ago there was a lot of stuff in the news where China was supposedly, they were telling us stuff we already knew, but they were supposedly exposing the market and saying how they basically make the products all over the place, and they have these factories and they make these products, and even products that are supposedly from like Italy and stuff like that, they'll make them, and then the Italy companies will get them in Italy and put their little brand on it, and that's how they can kind of get away technically by saying they were made in Italy. But I say that to say this, that those factories over there in China, that is their economy. Their economy is making stuff. The stuff that goes all over the world, a lot of these brands are made in China. So as far as are they made in the same factories? Yes, I do think that some of these reps are made in the same factories, but not the way that you think. And I think it was Skip Goes Hard that talked about this a while ago. If it wasn't, I don't know, but shout out to him anyway. He's got some pretty good content in my opinion. But he was saying that it's not like they're sitting there and they're making one real Jordan and then they're saying, and they're taking the same material and they're making another one and they're throwing one in the bin that's good and another one that's UA bin. It's not like that at all. But what it is these factories are all the way already over there. So what they do is they probably have leftover material. They obviously have the patterns and stuff like that, so they probably do, and they probably run out of certain materials, so they go out and they replace it with other material, and maybe sometimes they take it home, or maybe sometimes they do make it in the same factories. Maybe these factories are not actually built by Nike or the brands they're having their product made. These factories are already over there because that's their economy and that's how they make their money in China. They run what a lot of people like to say sweatshops. They pay really cheap labor. That's why everybody goes over there to get their stuff manufactured. And I definitely think that when these shoe companies, or not these shoe companies, but these factories make these, and then maybe they're not doing anything, they probably move over and start making some reps, or maybe they even sell their machines, or they just get their material and they get the patterns and they make these shoes and then they ship them over here and people buy them, and sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're horrible. Sometimes you can spot a fake a mile away, and these days you can't even barely tell unless you get right up on there with a microscope. But so that's basically what I wanted to touch on, that part. As far as if they're made in the same factory, it's sort of yes and it's sort of no. It's not like they're sitting there, like I said, making one and putting it in one bin and then making the U.A.s and putting them in another bin. But these people over there that are making the real shoes, a lot of them have definitely made some U.A.s, and it's probably their side hustle. Let's just leave it like that. Now I want to get into basically, is it okay to wear reps? And I would say if you want to wear reps and you don't want to spend these ridiculous prices with Nike and Jordan brand, the way they've just been up in the prices and the quality has gone down, I would say go ahead and do it. I would say, in my opinion, if you're wearing reps and they look really good and you're not, and you have enough confidence to do that, and you're like, hey, people are like, hey, I like their shoes, and you're like, thanks, they're reps. In my opinion, you're financially smarter than me. In my opinion, you're fresh AF. And that's my opinion. If you could pull it off, then go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't frown on that at all. I think I've seen some people that have entire channels and they have entire collections and their U.A.s are pretty damn close. And like I said, I don't do it personally. There's just something in my head, and I know a lot of people feel the same way as I do. They just can't do it. They can't walk around knowing it. But if you can do it and you like it, at this point, what does it even matter if everybody's gonna think you're wearing reps anyway these days? These kids are super mean to each other. They call each other out and they say they're reps even when they're not. So, I mean, if you want to save a few dollars and you want to go ahead and get a crazy ass collection of Jordans and Nikes and whatever else is popping right now, then I say go ahead and do it. And you know what else I say? I say you look real good in those shoes, and I'm glad you have the confidence to pull it off, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what I do have a problem with, what a lot of people have a problem with, and I see the people even around my way, like on Marketplace, on Facebook and other places, and people are around here, and I'm sure it's everywhere. Well, obviously it is. It's like $1 billion industry. There's a lot of people out here that are selling U.A.s and selling fake shoes, and they're selling them as the real thing. And if you do that, then you're a scumbag. You are a dirtbag. Straight up. If you're selling a bootleg product for the real product price, and you're out here and you think you're a hustler, no, you're not. You're a dirtbag. You're a criminal, and really, I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say, but it's not a good thing. It's not a good look, and I frown on it. And I think you're a dirtbag. Like I said, I think you're scum, and I think you ruin the culture. But I just want to touch on that a little bit, and I want to talk about something that happened in my life back in the day. I had a best friend that I grew up with, who's not my friend anymore, but his wife, back in the day, in like the mid early 2000s, she used to, I don't know what brand it was, but there was a purse that was popping back in the day, and she was getting knockoffs from China, and she was selling them online like the real thing. And eventually it caught up to her. A lot of people started telling on her, and she was making a lot of money. She was doing good. She was balling out. Her and my friend, they were doing really good for themselves. They were getting a lot of money on the side doing that. And somebody told on her, a few people told on her, and she couldn't even wrap her brain around the fact of what she was doing was bad. She couldn't hold herself accountable. She was talking about how these people were ratting on me and telling on me because they're haters and they don't like me getting money and they can't do it like I do it. And that's not what it was at all. What it was is you were a dirtbag. You were scamming people, and it wasn't okay. And karma is a beesh. It comes back around to you every time. Whenever you're doing bad to people, that's what's going to happen. And this same person that I grew up with and his wife, I want to tell you guys something real quick. A lot of you guys might not know this about me, and I'll just make this kind of like real brief and not get into a lot of details. But years ago, I got in a lot of trouble because I was selling some illegal substances, and I caught a Fed case. And when I went down all by myself. And I can't really tell you exactly how I found this out, but those same people, the people that were bootlegging the purses that I came up with, that I've known like most of my life, they turned around and they went and they got on the grand jury and they testified against me for no reason, because nobody was going down. My paperwork's good. My paperwork's still on the internet out there. I stayed solid and nobody was going down with me. I went and did a 10-year bid in the feds, and these people told on me for no reason. And I say that to say this, not to brag about where I've been or what I've done, because I actually hate that part of my life, but it made me who I am today. But I say all that to say that this is the type of people that will sell fake shoes or fake purses or just bootleg product. They're dirtbags. They're the scum of the earth, and they're really selfish, and they only care about themselves, and they don't care about who they hurt. They just want to scam you and get money. So, do I think U.A.s are okay? I absolutely think that if you want to rock U.A.s and you want to save some money, and the way Jordan Brand and Nike treats us lately, the way they make us jump through hoops, the way they've upped the prices and went way down on the quality of the product, and a lot of these U.A.s look better, I'm not going to do it myself. But I say, if you want to do that, then I say, you know what? Go ahead and do that, and I don't frown on you. But I will say this. You are going to have to deal sometimes with people calling you out. I won't do it, but I'll be honest with you. There's been a couple times in my life when I've been walking around, like I was in Vegas with Wifey last year, and I seen a couple fakes, and I would go over to Wifey and kind of whisper in her ear and be like, you know what? I don't think those are real. But I would never call somebody out, and I would never put them on a video and make like a TikTok or try to hurt somebody. But the truth is, a lot of these U.A.s, they look really good, but people will be able to spot them. And if you can deal with that, if you're the confident kind of person or kid or whoever, and you're like, I don't even care, yeah, I'm rocking reps, then I say, you know what? I say, you look real fresh, you look real good, and I have no problem with that, and nobody should have a problem with that. And the truth is, these days, when you're wearing the real thing, people don't even believe it anyway. And that just lets you know that a lot of people are rocking reps. And if you want to wear reps, by all means, go ahead, have fun, save you some money, get you a nice collection, and wear those reps. I don't do it personally, but I don't frown on it. But if you're selling, I already don't even like resellers, period. But if you're selling U.A.s, I really don't like you. I think you are a dirtbag. I think you have no morals. I think you are dookie on the bottom of my real shoes. And I think you get whatever comes to you. Karma is a bee, and it's going to come around to you. But that's pretty much my take on U.A.s. Are they made in the same factory? Sort of, kind of, not exactly, not the way you say. And is it okay to wear reps? Absolutely. If you like reps, rock the shit out of those reps. But is it okay to sell them? Absolutely not. You're a dirtbag, and that is my take on whether it's okay, whether U.A.s and reps are okay. And with all that being said, I just want to say, if you enjoy my content, if you've been here before, or this is your first time and you like what you're seeing and you like what you're hearing, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell so you can get notified every time I drop one of these bangers, and you can get some more of this good stuff in your life. And remember, no shoe is an absolute must cop. Support the culture and not the resellers. I'm OG Trap Jordan, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.